What's up, NFL fans? I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, and don't forget to check out and purchase your copy of our latest football game plan book, Stiff Arming Football Myths. We have these available in both PDF and paperback form.
Gotta get away, gotta get away, gotta get away. Can't get no rest. Work all day. When will I learn?
Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you a 2015 NFL Draft Special. We're going inside the war room with the New Orleans Saints, and we're going to take a look at their team needs to see what players could be possible selections to help fill those needs. But first, let's start off by taking a look at the upcoming picks the Saints have in this year's draft.
First, let's take a look at the mock draft rules. Number one, these picks are based off what I would do as the GM of the football team and what I believe the team needs are. And second, these rankings are my own personal rankings, which you can find on our website at footballgameplan.com/NFL draft. And this is not indicative of where I think these guys will actually go in April's draft. First, let's look at some of the team needs for the New Orleans Saints. Number one, I do think they have to find a pass rusher, a guy opposite of Junior Galette that can consistently bring it off the edge. The offensive line, I believe, needs help both on the interior and on the exterior, and I think they could utilize some depth at wide receiver and also cornerback. At pick 13 in the first round, I went with Brandon Scherff out of Iowa, 6'5", 319, an offensive tackle prospect at Iowa. Now is going to kick down inside where I think he can have an all-pro type career. With the second selection in the first round, I went with Shane Ray out of Missouri at 6'3", 245. Now, while he may not be as stout at the point of attack or versus the run, he does provide that one element that you can't coach, the speed to get off the edge and the ability to get to the quarterback. I'm a big fan of Ty Montgomery's game. I think he has first-round talent, and you put him in this offense along with Sean Payton, I think he can find ways to get him the football, and he could pay huge dividends as a rookie for the Saints. Continuing to bolster the depth in the secondary with Quentin Rollins out of Miami of Ohio, a former basketball player at 5'11", 195. I got the chance to see him live down at the Senior Bowl, and you can see a lot of rough edges around his game, but the talent is there. The one thing you can't coach is ball skills, and he definitely has that, and that would also be a much-needed element added to that Saints secondary. When you look at Devin Funchess out of Michigan, you can see a lot of what Jimmy Graham brought to the table. I think a guy that can put inside as well as on the outside and would also add much-needed depth and talent to that Saints receiving corps. The Saints are thin on the defensive line, and when you look at Mario Edwards Jr. out of Florida State at 6'3", 279, you see a guy that has a lot of Cam Jordan-type traits, but doesn't have that Cam Jordan-like quickness off the edge. Either way, I think he does have some value at this point in the draft. Went with a little local flavor here with Southeastern Louisiana's Isaiah Corbett, the outside linebacker. I got the chance to see him live this year versus Tulane, and this is a guy that's a tremendous playmaker on both ends of defense, both defending the run and also in pass coverage. I think at this point in the draft, the Saints can find a gem in Kevin Rogers out of Henderson State, a prolific passer coming out of the Division II ranks that will be nicely groomed behind Drew Brees whenever he decides to hang up the cleats. And wrapping up the Saints mock draft, I went with another small college prospect in Ned Dariush out of Lehigh. I got the chance to see him live twice this year versus Fordham and also versus Lafayette. He excelled at left tackle. He'll make the transition to guard as a pro. So let's recap my Saints mock draft, and as you can see with the first 5 selections, all within the first 3 rounds, I was able to come away with the day 1 impact players in Scherff, Ray, Montgomery, Rollins, and Funchess, and on the back end rounds 5 through 7, guys that you can develop behind your frontline starters and still have room to grow as a whole. And I also want to give a huge shout out to Saint Fan Forums for always showing football game plan support.